The Cardiac Cats strike once again as they overcome a 17-point deficit against Tennessee. And we're going to break it all down here on episode 118 of the Big Blue Breakdown.
The Big Blue Breakdown, from kickoff to tip-off.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Big Blue Breakdown, where we cover Kentucky football and basketball. I'm Jackson Thurman, and I appreciate you guys listening to episode 118 here on the podcast. And if you guys enjoy, help us out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts by liking, subbing, and go check us out on social media at BigBlue_Beatdown on TikTok, X, and Instagram. So, obviously, in today's show, we're going to be recapping Kentucky's amazing win over the Vols Saturday. And I'm a little late coming with this recap. Sorry about that. But I really do appreciate you guys tuning in here. And you're missing extra content, guys. If you guys don't check us out on social media, we post a lot there. Post a lot of different stuff there as well. So go check us out there. But obviously, going to be talking about Kentucky, Tennessee, the Cardiac Cats strike again. And with this 3-game winning streak and with the upcoming schedule, can Kentucky win the SEC just outright? But before we jump into today's episode, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, W Energy. If you're looking for a clean energy with no sugar and no crash, W is the way to go. It helps me stay locked in for these game days, late nights, and all these breakdowns. If you want to try it out, make sure to use my code BIGBLUE10 at checkout for 10% off. That's BIGBLUE10 at checkout. So let's go and jump right into this game here. So Kentucky comes back after a 17-point deficit that they had in the first half. They were able to get themselves in a pretty good position by the end of the first half, only down 11. I know I say only down, but that compared to other games, it is not a lot. So the Cats were able to cut it down to 11 for the end of the first half, and it never really felt like the Cats were out of this thing. And I think that's just a level of confidence that this fan base and this team has built because of their last comebacks. Obviously against Mississippi State, obviously against LSU. And so now you have this newfound confidence in that even if you do get down, you can still come back. And I think that was definitely something that was shown in this game on full display, because again, they got down 17, and I do not know why they keep on getting down 17. It looks like the same old Kentucky team once they get down 17, like it was a little bit different because I felt like we were able to move the ball a little bit better. I felt like the ball movement was there, but it was just like they were able to get off its rebounds, put it back up, and that was something that I was definitely worried about. But it was like they're playing different. Like it's not like this stagnant offense, even though we had what do we have going into halftime? Even though we had 31 going into halftime, it never felt like this team, again, was fully out of it, and it never felt like we were playing bad. It was just unfortunate that we were down 11 at halftime. And then the second half push once more. I mean, if this team would just learn how to play how they do in the first half, in the second, I mean, how they play in the second half, and translate that to the first half, I don't know what this team would be looking like. I mean, there'd probably be a couple more wins on the record, is all I will say. But the Cats do improve to 12-6 overall as they get another quad one win. And now the Cats sit with 3 quad one wins. They're 3-5 in quad one games. And the LSU was also a quad one win, so that was definitely a big one to have. So I'm going to jump right into this game here. Again, Kentucky trailed 11 at halftime. They ended up winning the second half by 13, 49-36. And just to look at some overall stats here before we get into some specific players here, Kentucky, another really, really good shooting half in the second half specifically, where in total, they went 11 of 24 from the three-point line, which is 45% from three, basically 46% from three. And they went 47.5% from the field, shooting 28 of 59. And the numbers weren't quite terrible for Tennessee either, where they shot 47% in on the floor. They went 25 of 53, and they shot 8 of 19 from beyond the arc, shooting 42%. And they were still able to get to the line 29 times and knock down 20 of them. And Kentucky got to the line 21 times, but only knocked down 13. That's going to be a thing moving forward where we get to the line a decent amount, using 21 here, but we only knocked down 13. A lot of those were in the first half for sure. But now we got dominated in the paint in the first half. Let's be completely honest here. Let's not just jump over that. But this team got dominated on the defensive glass in the first half. But that was a different story in the second half for sure. For sure. Kentucky was able to rack up 14 assists, 6 blocks, and 8 steals. I believe we had 8 turnovers. Let me say this. We had 8 turnovers in the first half. We had 0 in the second half. 8 turnovers in the first half and 0 in the second half. That is an amazing switch right there. An amazing play in the second half that really does show it. And we were able to turn them over 12 times and get 8 steals out of it and was able to convert in transition. That's the type of team that we are. We start playing to our strengths. We start to play very, very good. We tied with them with points in the paint at 30. So the stats are really, really solid for us right now, especially in SEC play. You look and this is going to be a crazy stat here, but Kentucky leads the SEC in three-point percentage right now. I don't know about makes per game because that's probably going to be Alabama with the volume that they shoot, but man, Kentucky leads the league in percentage on three-point attempts. That is absolutely amazing. I believe it's sitting at like 35, 36%. This is a different squad. And as you probably read on the title coming in here, the Cats are back, and they're officially back. And I don't think anybody can say anything different right now. Is this a Tennessee team of the last couple of years when they have guys like Dalton Connect and Zakai Ziegler and just some other really good superstars? I keep on forgetting the guy's name from last year, but no, it's not. Is this still a very, very good win for Kentucky? Yes. To get down 17 against a pretty solid Tennessee team that is ranked inside the top 25, that is a quad 1 game on the road, to come back down from 17 and to win and to dominate in the second half really does show you a lot and what this team can be. So diving into some individual performances here, Otega Oweh did not have his best game, for sure. Did not have his best game, but he was clutch down the stretch. He ended up hitting a 3 that was big for us, and then obviously the M1 layup that was able to push us over the hump here and finally got our first lead of the game, which was, for the first time in the game, under a minute to go. He ended up having 12 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds on 30 minutes of play. Denzel Aberdeen. Now, I want to take definitely a quick moment here to start talking about this guy. Denzel Aberdeen might be the key player moving forward. And you might be thinking Otega Oweh, which is, I would 100%, like, I wouldn't have any pushback on that for sure. The reason why I say Denzel is because Otega right now is going to be your number 1 scoring option, right? He's going to be your go-to guy, and that's undeniable, right? That's undeniable. But when he doesn't have his best performance, which he did not have his best performance against Tennessee, and we've seen that, as I just stated, he had some really, really good clutch plays and was very, very good at the end of the game and helped us obviously get the win. But when you have a guy that can be your second scoring option, and when Otega is not playing well, and this guy step up with 22 points on 2 assists and 30 minutes of play, and in SEC play has been averaging around 17 points per game, you are going to be very, very good. And Denzel Aberdeen, I'm going to make this prediction right here. Denzel Aberdeen offensively is going to be the key to Kentucky's success moving forward. That's what I'm going to say about him. That is what I'm going to say about Denzel. He is the key to Kentucky's success moving forward. He has been so good in the last couple of games. I mean, unbelievable. I believe he had 18 in the second half, and these are two second halves in a row where he has just gone off. In the LSU game, he had no points at halftime and had 17 in the second half and 18 in this one. Absolutely phenomenal from the 6'5" guard from Florida. Man, I just want to win here. I mean, you put yourself in such a good situation now, winning 3 in a row, get the home win against Mississippi State, getting the red win against LSU, and now Tennessee, obviously. And this is resume building. This is 1,000% resume building for sure. I want to talk about somebody else that really stepped up in this game in place for Denzel, because Denzel had 2 fouls quickly in the first half. And who stepped up for him? Jasper Johnson, 12 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds on 20 minutes of play. If you get that consistently from him, you are going to be in a great situation, because if Denzel keeps on giving you these type of numbers, man, what a combination that will be, that you can be completely confident in bringing Jasper in to be that assist man that can also give you 10 points a game. And I mean, the production would be insane right there for the Cats. Colin Chandler is stepping up, man. He is absolutely stepping up. 2 really, really good games back to back. 12 points from him, 2 rebounds. 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 24 minutes of play. Another clutch moment for Colin Chandler with the steal and the pass ahead to Otega Oweh for us to gain the lead, and that lead obviously ended up helping us or leading us to a win. I mean, he was able to get in the lane, get the steal, make an incredible pass over Jacoby Gillespie for Otega's AM1. And that was absolutely huge for the Cats. And then that throw against LSU, and even the play against Missouri when we lost, he was able to get a deflection, throw it to Otega, who ended up missing the layup. But man, what he's turning it up right now. And he was able to knock down, I believe all of his points came from 3 in this one. Or I think he got 2 free throws, maybe. Believe he got 2 free throws. I could be wrong on that. So I think he went 3 of 5. 3 of 5 from 3-point land. This guy's shooting over 40% from the 3-point line. And this team right now is a really, really good 3-point shooting team in SEC play. And I'm going to continue to expect that, because that's undeniable in the last 4 games. A pretty solid, 4 games that you can really say, okay, this is what we truly know about this team right now. A lot of really, really good samples is what I should say. And this team has been able to shoot well. And now Colin Chandler is able to turn that up. I think we're in a really good position in 3-point shooting. It's really been the slow starts for us, man. It really has, because everything in that second half has been perfect. The defense has been elite. The 3-point shooting has been elite. Denzel has been elite 3-point shooting as well. And so has Otega Oweh, especially in spot-up situations. And now you get that from Colin. Now you get that from Jasper. Now you get that from a stretch 4 and Andrea Jelovich. Obviously, Cam Williams, who's probably our best 3-point shooter with Colin, maybe. Very, very good right there. Very, very good. Those were the definitely the standout performances in this game. Okay. Kentucky gets a huge win here, 80-78. But before we move along in today's episode of the Big Blue Breakdown, I want to shout out Bluegrass Elite, your go-to brand for Kentucky apparel. If you want high-quality gear that really represents Big Blue Nation, whether it's for game day, campus, or everyday wear, Bluegrass Elite has you covered. Make sure to check them out and use my code BBB15 for 15% off at checkout. That's BBB15 for 15% off at checkout. They have amazing stuff, guys. Go check them out. So moving into the last portion of the episode here, can the Cats win the SEC? Now they sit at 3-2 in SEC play, 3 wins in a row. And might I add here, hopefully, no jinx here, knock on wood, that they have 2 very, very winnable games coming up next, and that can push them to the top of the SEC if they get these said wins. Next two games here are Texas and Ole Miss, where Mark Torvik has Kentucky as the 4-point favorites against Texas. 81-77 is what he projects, with a 66% chance of winning that one. And then he projects us to win against Ole Miss by 9, 77-68, with an 80% chance of winning that ball game. He then has us losing the next two. I get Arkansas and Vandy are the next two, or Vandy and Arkansas, excuse me, are the next two. Those games are both away. Those games are also both quad one opportunities. And something that I don't get here, but Texas has been very, very inconsistent with two humongous wins in their last three games. One against Alabama on the road and one against Vandy on the road, and then they lose against Texas A&M. So very, very inconsistent right there from Texas, and definitely a team to be worried about, but a game that you see very, very winnable because they're not amazing. I mean, again, incredibly inconsistent, and you get that game at home and you're hot. That's a quad two opportunity right there. They rank 43rd in the net, so I think you have to be top 40 to be a quad one game at home. Excuse me. So you have a quad two opportunity there, and then you have a quad three opportunity where Ole Miss ranks 86 in the net rankings. They are not very good. That should be a win for sure. But you have two very winnable games at home where you have to take care of business. Because if you do, you're on a 5-game winning streak. You're 5-2 in SEC play, probably near the top of the SEC. And then you have two humongous opportunities, which I think Vandy is not as good as people think. Where you're a 13.5-point underdog here per Bartorvik, where he has us losing 87-74, 13% chance of winning that one. And then Arkansas, 88-80, 26% chance of winning that. But here's the question. Can Kentucky win the SEC? And my answer is yes. Downright yes. So Bartorvik actually has us going 9-9 in SEC play for the rest of the way out. And I think you rack up two of these wins here, right? You rack up two of these wins here. You're what? Then, as I said, 5-2. 5-2. You're put up in a really good situation. You should 1000% win these games moving forward. We can count these, and then we're going to count the kind of the toss-ups and give you kind of my prediction moving forward. But the answer is, can the Cats win the SEC? Yes, the Cats can for 1000% win the SEC here. So next two games here, you should win. Texas and Ole Miss at home. Texas is solid. They beat some really, really good teams. Also been very, very inconsistent, and you're red hot. Ole Miss, I just don't think is a very good team. Also, you would be red hot. Then you move to Vandy. Well, let's go to the must-wins kind of in that situation, like where you have to win those or it'd be just a terrible loss. You got a quad two game at home against Oklahoma, who might be the worst team in the SEC, possibly. You're a 9-point favorite over them per Buck Torvik, 78% chance to win that one. Then you get Tennessee at home. I think you should win this game. I think you will win this game, actually, if said things go your way. We have such a good matchup against Tennessee, and that has been proven over the last 2 years, where Kentucky has not lost a regular season game to Tennessee, and you get this game at home. You get the denim jerseys. Everything is going to be really, really exciting, and I just think we are a matchup problem for Tennessee. I think you should beat Tennessee and Oklahoma back-to-back there at home, and then you got a tough game against Florida. Again, I'm just talking about the home game, the must-win kind of situations here. So I would say you should beat Georgia at home, even though they're really, really solid. You're favored to win that game by 2. Then you play South Carolina away, who might be the worst team in the SEC. I think I would have them in Oklahoma. Oklahoma, and Mississippi State around the same area here, for sure. South Carolina is definitely a must-win away. And then you get Vandy at home, which I think you should win, and you get Texas A&M away. So I'm not even going to count those. I'm going to say South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, Ole Miss. That's 9. That's what he's counting. I would say here, that's what he's counting as the wins, which is 9, right? And then I would say you should. I think Auburn is a very winnable game. The kind of more the toss-up games here for sure. It would be Vandy on the road, Vandy at home, which I think you should win. I'm gonna put that as a win. That's 10 right there. The toss-up games then Vandy on the road. Okay. Florida at home. Tough game there. Tough game. Texas away. Auburn away. I mean, if you get these next 2 wins, I wouldn't predict us to lose for a long time. Well, I don't want to say a long time. Until they prove me wrong if they end up winning or if they end up losing. Until they prove me wrong, I am riding with this team right now because they are red hot. But I think until you can win the SEC 1,000%. I appreciate you guys tuning in to episode 118 here on the podcast. Make sure to check us out on social media and on other podcast platforms like Spotify and Apple. I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow for a preview of Kentucky versus Texas. One of these games here that are must win, at least in my opinion. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. And as always, go Cats.